Michael the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Welcome to this episode, second episode of I Said What I Said podcast. I'm joined by Michael the Hurricane from Michael the Hurricane YouTube channel, Michael the Hurricane podcast. Say what's up, Michael.
Yeah.
What you got today, Mike? You been looking at all this free agency moving and shaking?
Yeah. I mean, it's something. You
All right.
know. Yeah.
So the big news of the day, just throw my notes out the window, why don't you? Chase Young is in the building, has agreed to a 1-year contract with the New Orleans Saints. Are you excited, Mike, about this
I'm excited.
deal?
Well, you know what? I'm actually going to say this. I'm not really that excited because here's why. So he's going to make our defensive line better, but if we can't score, that's not going to matter. So I am not really excited yet. I could change my answer eventually, but right now I'm not really excited yet. But if we get some offensive power and Dennis Allen gets a brain and Clint Kubiak is what everybody says he is, then yeah, I'll be excited. But for now, I'm not really excited, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, Michael, and that was a problem last year, getting some heat on a quarterback, and this guy can definitely do that. He had an outstanding 2020 rookie season, and the Washington Commanders were just a mess. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. It was a mess. He got in a little injury trouble in 2001, and was traded late last season to San Francisco, which he played pretty well. What, he had 7 sacks on the year, seven and a
Yeah.
half sacks, and if, like I said last podcast, I mean, injuries do heal up. So let's get this dude healed. Let's get Cam Jordan healed. And Cam, come on now. I mean, we bring somebody else in there. You gotta do something. So between him, Cam Jordan, Granderson, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna get from Peyton Turner. He ain't never healthy. We have some ends now, Mike. You could rush the passer.
Yeah. I feel like Chase Young, so Chase Young will definitely bring us, look, Chase Young is one of the reasons why the 49ers even went to the Super Bowl. Because I don't know if you remember, but last season, the 49ers, they started out 5-0, and then they lost 3 straight games. Then they traded for Chase Young, then they only lose really one more game. I know they technically lost 2 games, so that second game, they didn't play no starters. But so yeah, they really lost one more game after that until the Super Bowl. So bringing in Chase Young, I feel like can definitely help with immediate. I think he can help with long term success, but we gotta see how everybody else performs. Because it's not the 80s or 90s where it's a 1-man wrecking crew. Now
Hmm.
you need 53 men to do their part.
And the thing about Chase Young, he's got to develop a second move. He's got this one move, and he gets after it. But if he's stoned with that first move, he has trouble getting to that second move, trying to break away from the offensive lineman. So let's see if he can work on that second move. He's only 24 years old, Mikey. He makes 25 next month or something like that. So we have a young stud in there. I'm kind of excited about it. We need to build around them. We need to build around these young pieces. And let's go, boy. Who that?
Who that?
Who freaking that? All right. What else we got, Mike? We got free agency in the swing of things. I've been really paying attention to this quarterback changing teams, Mikey. I mean, we got so much moving and shaking. I mean, we have starting quarterbacks last year that's not going to be starting quarterbacks this year. They're going to different places. I mean, what's your biggest takeaway of the quarterbacks changing teams? I mean, who do you see going somewhere and really changing something? And who do you see going somewhere that's really doesn't even matter, doesn't rate on the Mikey scale of
Well,
quarterbacks?
a quarterback that I think could change the team I feel like, hold on, let me pull this up. So let's see. I think, hold on, right now I'm looking through teams so I can remember which quarterbacks changed. All right, hold on, give me a second. So let's see here.
We got one in our own division, Mikey.
Yeah. You know, hmm, I'm not really seeing too much, but I feel like Gardner Minshew can help the Raiders. And here's why. He is I don't know if he's gonna be starter. If I was the Raiders, I would start him. But Gardner Minshew, he's proven he can play at the next level. And we saw what he did with the Colts. Anthony Richardson got hurt. He put on a show. However, a quarterback that I don't think will be very successful is Kenny Pickett. Do I need to say anything more?
He was supposed to be the answer after Ben Roethlisberger. What happened?
To be honest, I don't even think the Steelers wanted him. I think the Steelers just picked him because he was from Pitt, and he was like the only quarterback. You know what's funny that I just realized? So the dude who was picked with the 262nd overall pick in that draft class was the best quarterback of that entire draft. Ain't that something? That's how
That's funny.
garbage that draft class was.
Yes, sir. What do you think about Russell Wilson being named the starter in Pittsburgh? I mean,
I like it. I think Russell Wilson is miles, miles, miles ahead of Kenny Pickett and Justin Fields. Doesn't matter. Um, Kenny, Russell Wilson. Look, is he what he once was in Seattle? No. But what he can do, if you build a good team around him, you can win. As we saw last year, they started to get their rhythm before he got benched and then cut. So I think Russell Wilson. I think this might be his last year to prove himself. So I think Wilson in Pittsburgh, they got rid of Johnson. So we're going to see how his connection is with George Pickens, because after George Pickens, I can't name a single receiver in Pittsburgh. So, yeah, let's see. Yeah, so that's my take on Russell Wilson, I guess.
well, I like Justin Fields a little more than you do, Mikey. I think this is like a big deal starting Russell Wilson over Justin Fields. As soon as I heard Justin Fields going to Pittsburgh, the first thing that came up in my mind, well, Russell Wilson going to be a backup quarterback the rest of his life now. But, Mike Tomlin said, "Oh, pump your brakes. Pump your brakes." I said what I said, podcast, pump your brakes. Because we starting the veteran. We starting Russell Wilson. So that's a surprise to me. I mean, Justin Fields is like a younger Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but he's terrible.
The games are similar. I mean, he has a little more trouble, reading defenses and things.
Darn can't throw the ball.
Let's be honest.
Against Minnesota, he threw 10 straight screen passes.
Well, Mike, he can't call the plays too.
That's proof that the coaches didn't even trust him.
Well, okay, we'll agree to disagree right now.
Yeah, like what, one 300-yard game like his entire career?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
when I think of Justin Fields, I think about running that ball. I feel like he could be good as like a Taysom Hill role, but as a starting
been
quarterback,
a mess too, Mikey. Chicago's been all over. They can't keep a coaching staff. Players.
As a starting quarterback, no, but as a Taysom Hill, I can go down with it.
Yeah, you're right. All right. What we got next, Mikey? So, what are some of the Saints' needs that, after the Chase Young deal? What else are we looking at here? I mean, where do you think we should go? Should we get some linebackers? Should we get some safety help? I think some young safeties could be in the draft for us. What do you think?
Well, look, Andres Pete and Marcus May are both meeting with the Titans today. So, well, Marcus May, we already know is not going to be on the team next year. But Andres Pete, I feel like he had his best season last year. So I think replacing him would definitely be get some offensive line to at least mentor Trevor Penning. I'll go tackle because Trevor Penning is not what we thought he was going to be. So offensive line is definitely up there. Safety, I feel like we already have our safety in the building already. And that is Jordan Howden out of Minnesota. I think he's our safety of the future, but
I like
let's see.
Jordan.
Yeah.
I like Howden, but
Yeah.
he's still a young guy. You might want to bring some veterans in at that position.
Yeah, and
I,
also tight end. We need tight end desperately. Boston Moreau can't catch nothing in the end zone against Jacksonville. And Juwan Johnson, I feel like, I mean, yeah, he had all those touchdowns a couple years ago, but it doesn't matter. Man, like, Juwan Johnson can barely run. That man be jogging down the field.
yeah, he beat. I mean, he jogged all year last year. I mean, he was hurt. He can't make the club in the tub, Mikey. So we need Bowden from Georgia, don't you think? We need him to fall down. We need these teams earlier before the Saints pick to grow a brain and think they could pick other players to make them better, and don't worry about Bowden. Let him fall to the Saints, and I'll be happy. What do you think?
Look, Brock Bowers is not falling. I'm sorry.
He's not falling. Okay.
If he
Wishful
does,
thinking, Mike. Is wishful thinking. Jeez.
if he does, then teams are just stupid.
Yeah, it's probably a top 6, 7 pick, probably.
Yeah. Sure, I won't be surprised if he goes in the top 3 or top 4 at this point.
I don't know. People be reaching for those quarterbacks.
But they also be
You know
reaching
what I
for
mean?
tight ends too. Did you see Kyle Pitts go at number 4?
He did. Now where he at? He's still in Atlanta.
Yeah, and I feel like Brock Bowers is a better prospect than Kyle Pitts. So
I don't know. He gave LSU some fits when he was at Florida. He did run up
yeah,
and
but
down on the
yeah, we still
Tigers.
beat Florida though. Yeah.
Yeah, we still beat Florida, and me and you could run up and down on LSU defense.
Yeah.
All right. So what else you're on your mind, Mikey? What else about these Saints needs? What about on offense? What do you think about the receiver position?
I think we need to get receivers out. I am glad that the Saints are addressing the receiver position as we got Stanley Morgan, who is from Louisiana, and we got what's his name, Cedric Wilson. I feel like that's not enough though, because our receiving room. If you would have looked on that at that receiving room, you would have probably puked 18 times. Because it's Chris Olave, which is the stud, Rashid Shaheed, which is the speed demon, then you got Stanley Morgan, who's probably going to be playing special teams a whole lot, and then you got Cedric Wilson, which I mean I like him, but to be like a number 3 receiver, I'm not a big fan of. But and so I think if we get a receiver like, Rome Odunze or any other receiver, like if we somehow trade up from League Neighbors, I would like that, but probably not gonna happen. Um, yeah. So a receiver, it'll be nice.
Yeah, you're right. Malik Neighbors, you think he's going before 14 or what?
Next question.
Is that a no?
Next question. That's my answer.
All right, next question. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about those Pelicans, boy. Pelicans are hot. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
let's see, we're at number 5 position in the West with 15 games to go. So you think we're gonna hold on to that 5 seed, or
I think
move
we're going
up?
to number 4.
It looks like we could go to number 4. We have us and the Clippers have a difficult April. We have a lot of playoff teams we got to go through. So it could go right down to the end. Zion Williamson. I was hard on you last year, Zion. Where the camera at? Right here. I was
Yes.
hard on you. I told you stop eating those cookies. And it seemed like you stopped a little bit. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for dropping 33 points the other night. Thank you for stop eating those. Where's the camera at? Stop eating those cookies. All right. That's my comedy for the day. Come on, Zion. Put it in the hole. Stop taking time off. Bring it. You too, Ryan the Ingram. I'm talking to you. And McCullum, keep hitting those trees. You heard me? All right. So what do you think about the play-in tournament? You think we're going to stay out of the play-in tournament? Because there's some teams down there that could do something like that.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the stands right now. So the play-in tournament, I feel like, was the Pelicans' home the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the play-in tournament for the West this season, all right. So if you look at the play-in tournament, you got the Mavericks, Suns, Warriors, Lakers. 4 teams that people thought could have had a chance to go to the finals this year.
That's right.
And if you look at the Mavericks, I mean, if Kyrie's hitting game winners like he did yesterday, they might be a little scary. They just beat the Nuggets, who just won the championship. And then you got the Suns, which I don't really know much about them. But hey, all 4 of these playing tournament teams are ironically the 4 teams I do not like. I don't like the Mavs because they're in Dallas, and those Dallas people are crazy, no matter if it's football or basketball. Don't like the Suns because when the Pelicans score, they want to get all rowdy and stuff. Don't like the Warriors because, and don't like the Lakers because. So if 2 of these teams don't make the playoffs, I'll be happy.
Yeah, like you said, Mikey, there's those 4 teams, and there's teams that people thought could make a deep playoff run. So a couple of the teams that's ahead of them, I guess a little surprise teams like our New Orleans Pelicans. We're surprising some people. Good.
Who would have thought the Thunder would have been number 1? Like they're going from their big 3 with Harden, Russ, and KD to going into a rebuild after that experiment failed to now being the 1 seed after being in the play-in this past year. So, and then you got the Nuggets. I mean, they're still scary with Jokic. And you got Minnesota, which I think the Pelicans can handle. It depends on if Anthony Edwards makes it to the game on time. And the Clippers, I mean, we just whooped them the other night. So, I mean, Zion beat. I don't know if you saw the clip, but Zion ran down the court in 3.5 seconds.
The only way I knew that is because I heard you say it. You on top of this, Mikey. I don't even get my sports from ESPN no more. I wait for Mikey to come through and tell me what's going on.
Like, I'm telling you, dude caught, it was not like one of those, half-court passes where he catches the ball half-court and then gets an easy floater. Nah, this man went from, this is one side of the court, this is the other. He went,
I'm on the show right now. Ain't that a professional, Mikey? I answer the phone while I'm on the show. Hello? All right. I'm going to call you when I get off. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. Back to
you should have put down silent.
Duty calls, Duty calls. So where we at, Mike? Talking about those Pelicans.
Yep.
Stop eating cookies, Zion. All right. Speaking of stop eating cookies, my boy right there, screaming a myth. That boy talking about Zion eating buffet tables and stuff. I mean, we went over this last episode, Mikey, but I just wanted to retouch on this. I mean, I really like Big Boy doing his thing right now, shutting Stephen A. up. What do you think, Mikey? You heard any new cracks he's got, any new jokes he's got? I like to laugh.
So look, he's not gonna make up any new jokes because he's not a good comedian. Because the only jokes sorry, Screaming A, I'm gonna have to humiliate you on the show. I hope you're cool with that. But Screaming A, all he does is say the same joke over and over. He's like that one kid in class. When you sit in class and one kid makes a joke, and then nobody laughs. But then he says it like a couple more times, and then he gets to laugh, and he's like, "Oh, this is a funny joke. I should just start telling the world this." And then he ends up getting punched in the face because that's a terrible joke. That's what Screaming A reminds me of. He reminds me of the kid who witnesses somebody get beat in a roast battle. Like, say you and me doing a roast battle. You beat me in the roast battle, and then I'm like, "Oh, you beat me in the roast battle." Screaming A starts laughing, and I'm like, "Oh, what's the laughing for?" Hold on real quick. And then you start roasting the jeebers out of him. So Screaming A, he does not have no basketball knowledge. All he talks about is how he hits 17 threes, which don't make no sense. If you did that, then and he also lied about him playing one game. It's clearly he played 9 games because there's only one Stephen Smith on that basketball team, Stephen A. How do you average 1.5 points per game in 9 games, Stephen A? And even if the scorers got it wrong, it was really 1 game, then let's bring it back to that. How did you only play 1 game and only average 1.5 points per game, Screaming A? Are you stupid or are you mentally unstable, Screaming A? Do you need your medicine, Screaming A?
He lied because, well, he's in the middle of 2 lies right now. He can't say, he's trying to say he didn't play those 9 games. You want to know why? Because if you played 9 games, there's probably video of you playing at least one of those games, right? There's probably pictures of you playing at least one of those games, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, there is no pictures. There is no video. So he's got to say he played 1 game or he played no games. So you will stop looking for it. That's part of Screaming A myth. The lies. Talking about you, Screaming A. You, boy. If you're watching, which I know you're not, but stop lying. I mean, it's okay you didn't play basketball. It's okay. I mean, I didn't play either. But I'm going to talk about it. Right, Mikey?
Yeah, you see, when I play basketball, I don't lie about it, when I don't have a good game, I know I don't have a good game. But you must think that you're the next version of Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan, and Larry Bird at the same time.
We're going to have to look up. We're going to have to look up that video with him trying to shoot basketballs in a suit, doing those air balls, and then him boxing. Did you see that video of him trying to box?
How did that go?
I don't. You should look at. He looks like a 90-year-old person trying to box. But
like you see, the Zion fat jokes are just as old as your raggedy, dumpty looking hairline, Screaming A.
Yeah, you're right. Woo. What else you got, Mike? I've been through all my notes. And I'm good. I mean, sorry we came on here late, everybody. Things happened at work I had to handle. But here we are. We are who dat. Are you excited for the season coming up, Mikey?
Man, I'm excited for this season coming up. Man, you see when the Saints march down into the dome, bro. You see when the Saints march into the dome, business is about to be handled. Whether that's good business or bad business or dumb business that you want your coach to get fired business, some business will be handled.
I wanted to bring that up, Mike.
Okay.
We've been very hard on Denise Allen. But I wanted to bring that up. We should back off of Denise a little bit. We are Saints fans through and through. Number one thing on our mind is that we Saints fans. We shouldn't be rooting for this dude to fail. Come on, Denise, let's win a game. We shouldn't be rooting for him to fail. Because you know what we're going to do next year, Mikey? Every single week, we're going to be watching that game, pulling for him to win. We don't suck for luck around here. We don't tank for that first round draft pick, which probably gonna be something like Trevor Penning, and see what happens. So we don't do that, Mikey. We root to win. Come on, Denise, get it together. Get your panties out your, whatever, and let's go. Who that?
Let's go.
All right, Mikey. Well, we're gonna wrap up the show tonight. Tell everybody how they can keep track of you.
Well, you can find me at Hurricane Mike in New Orleans Saints Master Streams. I'll be, I'm very active on YouTube. If you want daily sports content from somebody that's knowledgeable and not named Screaming A. Smith because he has to have two first names. So you can find me there and New Orleans Saints Master Streams. You find me there. I stream mostly the football games. So I'm not gonna be on that channel for like a few months, but things.
Absolutely, I hear you, my buddy.
Okay.
Well, we will see y'all next episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. That one person up here, right there. Thank you for tuning in.
You do realize that's me on my computer, right? So you're welcome.
Well, thank you. Why don't you drop a like and a thumbs up? And
I did that.
Hit that bell so you get notified when we go live.
I did that too.
All right. Did you get notified?
Yes.
All right. That's good. See,
It takes me 5 seconds after the stream actually starts, but yeah, I got notified.
All right. That's how it works. All right. See you later.
All right. Peace out.
Peace.